Caution, the Mark Gungor Show contains adult content intended for an adult audience. And, besides that, he's really weird. Welcome to the Mark Gungor Show with international marriage speaker and author of Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage, Mark Gungor. This is your source for practical, down-to-earth marriage advice without all the over-spiritualization or romantic nonsense. And now the host of the Mark Gungor Show, Mark Gungor.
Crowd goes wild with delirious joy. They've joined the Mark Gungor Show, the show that discusses all things concerning marriage. Has the two other shows. Oh, I haven't been able to push the button right.
There.
I'm back, man. I got my mojo back on. Marriage. This is a show that handles your marital challenges, relational conundrums, and dating dilemmas that you can email to us at ask@markgungor.com. Nothing's off limits. And we will discuss your questions, if nothing else. Just at least tell you what we think. Joining me, as always, is the ever lovely, charming, delightful, wonderful Diane.
Keep going. Keep going.
With the shiny caveman things around her neck. It looks very primordial, kind of.
Primordial?
I don't know why I said that. I have no idea.
Prehistoric?
Prehistoric. It just looks like big chunks of stone. But it's not.
They look like the teeth from that
saber-toothed tiger.
No, the bad Bond guy. What's his name? Jaws or?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is.
Also joining us, the amazing Philip James Gungor, heir to the vast Gungor fortune, which just before the show discovered really wasn't much of anything.
Not that much.
Engineering the show, as always, the very talented but eerily creepy Timothy Robert Ray, pushing buttons, twisting knobs, and trying to stay awake during this incomprehensibly, immeasurably boring show. This is the show that had. I just wanted that.
You just did all of that.
I did it ahead of time.
You did that.
My mojo's not back on.
No, you're not.
What is it?
You're always.
I've been like out of whack.
Yes.
For 3 shows now. I pushed a button right. I thought everything was good.
No.
And I'm all messed up.
You are.
Anyway, what do you got over there?
Jacked up.
Start us out on something semi-intelligent.
Okay, 5 reasons why I ask my husband's permission.
Oh, that's bad word. Ooh,
I know. It's written by a woman, and it started out the first part of the article. She was saying that one of her girlfriends asked her to go shopping or do something, and she said, well, let me check with my husband, and see what he says. And she always gets the eye rolls, she says, from her girlfriends.
I don't have a problem. I just wouldn't use the word permission.
Yeah.
Makes it
It's
sound
a
like
hot
child.
button word, yes.
Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of hot button words that, actually, we could talk for a whole hour on that.
Yes.
And maybe we will. We're just getting started.
But when you say permission,
it just, I would never use that, ever.
Let me check with my husband is different than saying.
I don't need permission. We live together. We have a life together. We need to be on the same page about stuff. Let me see. My husband expects anything. Am I supposed to be somewhere?
That's
vice
the case
versa.
She's making. She's not
but
saying.
when she uses the word permission,
right?
It's a hot button emotional word. It
sets it all off. Okay.
It's like back when it was John Kasich or whatever it was, not that long ago, running for office, for president, and he makes a statement, hey, when I was running an earlier thing, women were helping, they'd leave their kitchens to come and help me. Well, he got all kinds of grief for just using the phrase women left their kitchen.
Come out of the kitchen and support me.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Women don't have to just leave the kitchen. They left their jobs too. It's like, oh, really? Yeah. Everybody's so sensitive about every little phrase. Anyway, so being aware of that's a really bad
word. It is. That's a bad
use.
Word. But there's good reasoning behind the concept.
Let's discuss the concept.
She says asking permission is a sign of respect. Like if you're putting something on the calendar, because it involves both of you. If you're getting a new job, that involves both of you. So when you're both impacted, that you really should discuss it first.
Okay.
Instead of just coming and going. Because otherwise, that's just single. If you're not going to check with somebody and just live your own life, that's being single.
No, I agree.
Yes.
I agree with everything they're saying here. It's just a hot button word,
it's
which
just
I guess
permission.
Has us all talking about it. So maybe that was
that's
the
right.
point.
That was,
it's like the word obey.
Yes.
You should obey your husband. you should obey this guy. We don't use that word. It's as bad as the N word in Western culture today. A better way of saying is listen. Yes. You should listen to your husband. Your children should listen. Listen to your mom. Listen to, your employee should listen to you. Yes. An employer walks in and says, everybody has to obey what I say. He's going to get sued. I mean, you just can't use the word.
Well, I'm sure
How come women can? I think it's time to take the word back.
Women can use obey?
No, the permission.
I think it was intentional.
It's not offensive at all to say, did you get permission from your wife?
Ooh. Oh, that is true, too.
Ooh,
it is one-sided. But that's the whole thing. All of this is weighted one way or the other, which is absurd. That's the absurdity of the political correct nonsense, which is why so many people like a guy like Donald Trump. I among them. Not for political reasons so much as just he tells everybody to stick it. And he doesn't
breaking
care.
The PC thing.
Just breaking the PC thing, And anybody, and look, I know a lot of Christians don't like him. I know pastors don't like him. But from a professional standpoint, any pastor should be able to relate. Mm-hmm. Because every pastor knows what it's like. Anybody who speaks publicly for a living knows what it's like to say something and people aren't listening to what you're saying. And they'll say, well, you said da-da-da. And you go, oh, yeah, but that's not what I meant. And they don't care.
All it is what you
said. But you said such a, and that's all politics is people giving speeches and then pinheads sit around and they wait for one phrase that said wrong and they hammer him with it. The beauty of Trump is he says, stick it. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I'll say something. He says, that's what I meant. And for some reason, it doesn't stick to him. Which, God bless America.
But Phil's right. Guys will.
But the other way, it's okay.
You didn't ask for permission.
Well, it's like the N word. If you're black, you can use it.
Yeah.
If you're not black, you can't. So I did a DNA test just for the fun of it. It's fun that I'm 15% black. Mm-hmm. So with my black friends, I kid around.
No.
No, I'm serious. We kid around. We use the N-word to each other. Hey, Mac, use the N-word. And they just laugh their heads off.
Yeah.
Because, hey, I'm part black.
You can get away with it now. The Danish white girl could not do that.
The Danish white girl?
No.
Cannot do. So, no, Phil's absolutely right. There's all kinds of things. That's what makes the whole political correct stuff so crazy.
Yes. Because apparently men are not oppressed the way women are. So that's why
apparently men are oppressed by the women.
Women are
I'm just teasing.
You're depressed by men. We're depressed.
I'm just teasing.
Okay.
Our friends even, so we have some single friends, and when they ask if we can do something, they just go ahead and copy the wives on it. Because they know if we do not get permission from the wives, that
but you're right. A man can use that phrase.
Yeah.
A man can use that phrase. What a woman should, well, let me check with my husband. If she said I have to check with permission, and we were into it right away because we know it's a bad word, but only from the female to the guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that she got a lot of hits on this article online for the very reason that the word permission is in all caps in the title.
Yeah, and I'm sure the people probably said, hey, a guy has to say that.
Yeah.
I got to get permission from my wife.
Yes.
It's all crazy nonsense.
Yes.
And anyway, I told you we could do all hour on it, and we're already out.
We made the point.
We made the point. It's just about, it's respectful.
Yes.
It reduces conflict.
Helps you make better decisions.
You just need to get on the same page.
Yes.
You're engaged with each other's lives. That's why you check with each other. Is what I would say from a female person.
I need to check with.
But with a man, you can say, that's why you ask the girl's permission. But honestly, I wouldn't even use that phrase toward the guy.
What makes you seem whipped?
I'd still say, just check. But he's right. So. You can say it.
Yes.
And not get in trouble as a man.
I have no problem saying I need to ask permission.
Yeah.
Because the actual word... Because we're secure. That's the thing.
We're secure and we have healthy dialogue. So when I say permission, I don't view it as a restrictive, as I view it as a healthy...
Yes. That you are honoring your wife and your relationship.
Get on the same page.
Yeah.
The whole world's jacked up. All right. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Download your free Mark Gungor app today to see all of the latest from the world of Mark Gungor.
Hi, Mark Gungor here talking to you about Transition One, our one-year transition program here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, that is designed to help young people, young Christian people. And I want to stress that this isn't a program for juvenile delinquents. Mm-hmm. You got a kid who's a mess. Man, don't send them to us. I'm talking about devout Christian kids. They finish high school, and before they go into college, they take a one-year program. There's several of these around the country. We have one here. in the Mark Gungor world called Transition One. We launched this last year, and it's been fabulous. I mean, it's really wonderful, and these kids have been dramatically affected by this in a wonderful way. We teach them about life. We focus on how to live, how to make decisions, how to plan, how to date, how to make choices for spouses, how to do all these things. And we show them how to serve, and we give them service opportunities and teach them to put God first in their lives. The last 3 months of the program, they go on a missions trip, not one of these, 7-day. And God bless those who do that. I mean, I still think they're great, but those are more of a vacation. When you go on a real missions trip and you're there for months, you really learn stuff, and it really changes you, and you really get to understand, and really, if nothing else, to appreciate what you have here. Believe it or not, there's places in the world that they don't have Wi-Fi in every corner of your world. Life is different. There's not a McDonald's on every corner. There's not, 3,000 television channels. There's places where, quite frankly, none of that stuff exists, and you haven't a chance to really see these kids grow and mature. When they come back, I'm telling them their lives will be changed forever. And then let them go on and pursue their lives. Jesus taught us, if you will seek first my kingdom, I'll add all these things to you. You parents who just try to get your kids to go get these things right away, as that's the top priority, you're making in my opinion, a terrible mistake. Slow down. Take a year. Put God first in the lives of your children. Encourage them to do so. Go check out our website. We'll tell you all about our program, transition1.org. That's transition1.org.
She got long blonde hair and a sweet disposition. You ought to see what she does in the kitchen. Grits and gravy, chicken too. My baby even cooks me barbecue. I love my baby. Yeah, I love my baby. Yeah, I love my baby. And my baby loves me.
The music of Jimmy Bratcher. I love that song. Check out his music at jimmybratcher.com.
Speaking of asking for permission,
I'm green today.
I need to ask your permission because I want to go to Kansas City to see Jimmy and Sherry for a couple of days.
No!
So I need to get off.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm going to go down and...
You just saw him.
I know, that's when we just saw him. That's when she said, I've never been to their house. I've never been to Kansas City. So she really wants me to come down and hang out for
because you're under a restraining order in
3
most
days.
states.
Under a restraining order. I'm on the watch list.
You're on the watch. You're on the terrorist watch list, and you can't get on a plane.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, first email says, my husband and I have been married for 13 years. Before we got married, my husband said that he did not want to have children, and I did. But as our love grew, he told me maybe one. After we were married, we would have a discussion about having children every 6 months or so. Then 8 years ago, I agreed to let him have a vasectomy, thinking that I was content with it just being us. Over the last 2 years, I've been feeling the tug and desire to have children. My husband is still not yielding. He refuses to have a reversal and tells me that if God wants us to have children, then God will reverse the vasectomy. This is just heartbreaking to me.
What an idiot. Is he serious?
I guess. Spontaneous regeneration.
Oh, people are so convenient with their religion,
Yes.
you know?
He's done it before.
That's right. God can do anything.
This is just heartbreaking to me, she says. I love my husband and I know that he loves me, but this issue is just not getting resolved and divorce will not fix anything. Like
Yes.
I've told him, I don't want a child with just anybody. I want his child.
Why not?
I am heartbroken.
Just walk up to a
Was that
stranger.
up for discussion?
Yeah.
Was that an option to have children with anybody?
Just go get somebody else. Yeah.
Hey, mister. You got a couple of minutes?
I am heartbroken and desperate. I want to be content with my marriage, but this desire just will not go away. I have always wanted my own children. I could use some sound advice. And FYI, she's 36 and he's 40.
All right. It's been a while since we've given out one of these. But what you need to do is you need to get very serious. You need to kneel down in front of your toilet and stick your head in the toilet and flush it! And give yourself a swirly. The water's spitting around your head to wake you out of your delusion. Good grief. This is on you. I can't even believe you're serious. I can't even believe she's serious. I knew that he didn't want to have any children. I knew it. I married him anyway. He said maybe one, so it gives him the one. Then he gets the vaccine because he doesn't want any more. She goes along with it. And now she's complaining about it. This is on you. Good grief. Man, if I was talking, I'd give her a swirly. Is that against the law?
You just did.
No, I mean, I'm physically take her head.
You could be charged with assault for that, I think.
Would that be assault? I don't think so. I think
Assault with a commode.
Assault with a commode. I think actual counselors and people who do what I do should be allowed. We should go talk to her. Write your congressman. Should be able to take delusional, crazy people and stick their heads in toilets and flush it, and hopefully it'll wake them out of their delusions. Goodness gracious, girl. You signed up for all of this and agreed to everything, and now you're whining about it? Shame on you. Shame, 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 shame. I know, Christian. We're not supposed to have guilt and shame. Oh, this new Christianity.
Well, she feels really bad and heartbroken about a baby. She wants a baby.
I want to talk about guilt and shame.
No, she's heartbroken and desperate and feels terrible. She wants a baby.
Adopt a baby. You know how many people out there?
He apparently doesn't want any adopting or no.
What?
He doesn't want to have kids.
Oh, he doesn't even want to adopt.
No.
Well, it's on her.
Well, good night.
She did this? What? You know, it's like someone... I'd rather talk about guilt and shame.
Well, she feels really bad already, and now you just yelled at her.
No, she's feeling bad for the wrong reasons. What she should feel bad about is that she's being so goofy.
Well, now she'll feel bad about that on top of feeling bad about what she already...
Girl, she'll get a whole list of guilt and shame things on here. For heaven's sakes. By the way, I still want to say this thing about guilt and shame. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to let it go. We have pastors today. This new version of Christianity. Everything's all grace, 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 grace. And there is no guilt. You should never have any guilt and shame, which is absurd. You know who does not have guilt and shame? A psychopath. Literally. Mm-hmm. Look up. All you people who don't believe me, sit down. You got a computer. You don't even have to get a dictionary anymore. Beautiful thing.
Online.
You can do it online with your little smartphone. Mm-hmm. Just look up the word psychopath. Look at the definition. It is someone who never feels guilt or shame. They're psychopaths. I don't think Jesus said go into all the world and create psychopaths out of people. Look, if you do something guilty, you should feel guilty. Do something shameful, you should feel shameful. That's my personal opinion. Now, that's not condemnation. Oh, you're condemned. And not condemnation. Condemnation means you have guilt, shame. There's nothing you can do about it. The beautiful thing is when we do feel guilty for something we've done that is guilty, we can find forgiveness in Christ, and then he does take away our guilt and shame. But to tell people, oh, I should never feel it, it's absurd. The Bible says sorrow, godly sorrow brings repentance. People don't repent because pastors are trying to convince people never to feel bad. Good grief, just irritates the snot out of me. Look, you can't. I want this thing from the store, but I don't want to pay for it. So I'm going to take it. Now the police are arresting me and throwing me in jail. Well, you did this. You stole some. I don't know what kind of analogies. She signed up for this. She okayed all of it. She approved everything of it, and now she's complaining.
She played the lotto. She was hoping there was a chance.
Because he said, well, maybe one, but she went with the maybe one instead of with the, no, I'm not going to.
Her odds got worse after she said, well, go ahead and snip it.
Yep.
Do you know how many women right now are dating men that they know are asking for things they don't want or refuse to do things they want to do?
They think they can change them.
It's just crazy.
They think they can change
You
them.
single girls, I can't even fix this lady. I can't. What can you tell her? What can you tell her? There's nothing you can tell her.
She has to be content.
You can't fix crazy. I don't know. You got to learn to be content.
She has to learn to be content.
Go volunteer in your local church.
If he's a good man, if he loves her, if they have a good life together, you just have to
Start a daycare. Start a daycare.
There you go.
Start a daycare and take care of little children.
There you go.
There's all kinds of ways you can kind of get that button pushed. Okay, but you did it. You did this. But put her aside because I can't fix her. You single girls who are dating people and you know you can't stand them for whatever reason, and then you marry them anyway, then that's on you. Like the lady who says, I get divorced because my husband won't stop smoking. Well, was he smoking when you're dating him? Well, yeah.
But he said he quit.
Well, then shut up. The one lady, remember she wanted to divorce her husband because he was collecting beer cans?
Yeah, his hobby of beer can collecting was too much for her.
He collected beer cans. Who does that? Anyways, this guy, she's ready to divorce. He was serious, wanted to divorce him. And I asked one question. Was he collecting beer cans like crazy before you married him? And the answer, well, yeah. Well, then shut up. Mm-hmm. They do this on purpose. They see these things, they ignore them on purpose. Like the girl on the last show, or whatever show it was, she emails me, I'm engaged to a man, we're going to be married a couple of months, but he never tells me he loves me, and I tell him, really, what can I do? You dump him. But no, she won't dump him. Why? Because she's going to marry this idiot who never said, and then she's going to cry and complain, and she's going to vampires. That was
it was a vampire show.
Go to these women's Bibles. Will you pray for me? Please pray for me. My relationship's so bad. And they bite into their necks. They suck the life out of everybody. But somebody, please. And then when they get tired and they don't, they'll go to another church. How can we help you? Please pray for me. I have these relationships. And they just bite their heads off. Or suck their brains out, whatever they do. That's a zombie.
It's just yuck.
Blood.
It's all yucky.
But I'm just, they suck the life out of people.
Yeah.
They intentionally ignore stuff, and then they will spend all their time crying to everybody around them, sucking the life out of them, to try and make up for decisions they made.
Now look, all the things that you think he's going to do, all the things he's already doing, and that you just wish that he will continue to do and be, will be enough disappointment. Much less the things that you know that he's not doing.
The romance is we're two totally different people, and just this romantic love is just going to hold us together. Just like in the movies. Just like speaking of vampires, you can be a vampire.
You can become a vampire.
He's a vampire.
So you marry this terrible man.
But we'll
make it work somehow, because
no. Then you become miserable. And you find all the happy people, and you say, I need to talk to you, please. I have a relationship problem. Anyway. I think we've crushed this woman.
I feel bad for her.
I don't even feel bad for her.
I do, because
I do not. You did this. You opened.
I'm not denying that, but I still feel bad for her.
Then send her Mark Gungor bobblehead.
Well, that's not going to help.
That'll help. I'm sure it'll. We've got to take a break.
You can make it where you push it and it yells at people.
That's what I need. We need one with audio. What's the matter with you?
Swirly sound. Cold sound.
Can I have some counseling? I'm having problems. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Have a marriage dilemma? Email your questions to ask@markgungor.com, and Mark can answer them during one of our shows.
So you call up the preacher,
and he yells at you.
Marriage counselor too.
Yeah, and he yells at you. I feel bad for her.
I'm not the nicest guy in the world. I know. That's why I love these things being anonymous. I don't want to know these people. I'd never be that mean to her in person. But just, I get so frustrated. People who intentionally do things, and they complain about the results. And there's a version of Christianity that's going to sound very weird, but because we believe in miracles and prayer, people actually live carelessly. Mm-hmm. They don't, because Jesus will just fix it later. And then when he doesn't, they get mad at Jesus. It's like letting your kids play in the street. What if he gets run over? Well, it's okay. Jesus will heal him. Well, he could heal him, but that's kind of a risk, isn't it? It's just craziness. So I don't know. First of all, and what is it? How old is she?
36, and he's 40 now.
Okay, so why don't these girls really think about babies and stuff when they're 21? It's just our culture's so jacked up. When they start really getting serious about that, they're in the mid to late 40s, which even if he could give her live squirming in the spermies, she may not get pregnant anyway. Mm-hmm. Now you're interested? Now you're serious about this? I don't know. You go to a sperm bank. Right?
No.
Oh, because he still doesn't want him. He still doesn't want him.
No,
you're right. He won't let him. You know what I would do? I would try to ask him to relent, but just with adoption or something. Mm-hmm. But to go back and demand that he get a medical procedure that
which you might not even get success anyway.
I think she needs to move on.
Why would he switch?
I know. I think she needs to.
She got married. She agreed to this.
I know.
And then all of a sudden she changes things.
I know. I think she needs to let it go.
She doesn't.
On the other hand, he needs to live with the lady. I mean, if she becomes psychotic and life's miserable because she cries every day because she doesn't have another baby.
You say move on, be content with this. You're not saying move on and.
No, I think he needs to be content. I think she needs to learn to be content.
Move on.
At some point, we need to get comfortable. Look, a lot of us have made decisions we regret. Oh my God. gosh. Oh my God, how much can we talk about that? Maybe we will when we return, right after this.
Caution, the Mark Gungor Show contains adult content intended for an adult audience.
Feelings got me down.
Feelings have me down. Which is what we were just talking about. You're on the Mark Gungor Show talking about love, marriage, and relationships. You know, people have great, deep regrets over their decisions in their past. At some point, you need to just move on. Like this lady, I think she needs to get comfortable and learn to be content. But a lot of people have made bad decisions. Actually, it's not so much a bad decision. Those people just made decisions they wish they hadn't made.
Yeah.
You know? We were talking about this before the show started. You know, houses.
Ask anyone who bought a house in 07.
In 07. Ask, like some of us idiots around this table. And then ask if they regretted that. Well, yeah, they regret. We can't get mad about it, you know? You got to learn to be content. Oh, no, I'm upside down, $80,000. What am I going to do? Am I going to really? Just suck it up, buttercup. Learn to be content. In fact, when Paul wrote, if you're not a Christian, you won't relate to this, but the Apostle Paul wrote this famous verse that most Christians know. I can do all these things through Christ who gives me strength. Everybody quotes it as, I can conquer the world or knock down a mountain and stuff. There's lots of verses like that, but that's not really what that verse is. The verse, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength, is a verse that is about your life sucking. He said, my life sucks, but I can do this because of Christ who gives me strength. He says, I've learned the secret to be content, whether I have food or I'm starving, whether I have lots or I have nothing. I've learned the secret to be content. And that's when he says, because I can do all these things. What things? The sucky things in life. Things that maybe bring regret, things you wish you hadn't done, things that you wish you could go back and undo. You know, I have friends that are in jail today.
Because they did something.
They are filled with regret. There's several people in my church. Welcome to Celebration Church. They come for a while and the cops show up, bust them, and throw them in the can.
You can't undo things.
You can't just undo
Everybody
them.
has stuff they wish that they could undo and that it would be different. And
So if you're in
everybody does.
jail and stuff and your life sucks, but can you be still happy? Yeah, by learning to be content. Why? Because I can do all these things through Christ who gives me strength, and God will give you strength. And if you, my dear, have made these decisions and if you feel locked in and there's no hope for you, you need to learn to be content. She has the one baby.
No, they don't have any.
Oh, I thought they said they had the one at least. Oh.
He said that he would relent to one, and then that never happened.
Oh, and then she agreed to the. So I don't know.
Vasectomy.
So she's really into this up to her eyeballs. She just learns to be. I think she needs to learn to be content. Now, in all fairness, if I were talking to her husband, I said, no, don't be such a selfish. You're driving the lady crazy. I mean, you could hop on the guy about that. I just go crazy because of people who intentionally make agreements to and stuff, and then they complain later.
Yeah.
So to her, I would say be content. To the husband, I say, don't be such a selfish pig. You know, well, I don't get the thing reversed. We'll go to a sperm bank. I don't want that. Well, adopt a child. You know how many hurting young children are looking for people to adopt them? Why don't you do that? That would be my thing with him. Because my guess is it's only going to get worse for him.
Yeah.
As much as I want to encourage her to be content, it wouldn't surprise me if she can't get there. So, you know, I think they're just in for a mess. And both of them, again, you're agreeing to unrealistic stuff. Why would you make agreements like that? Let's get married and not have any children. I don't know why people do that.
Well, why do people who don't want kids marry someone who does want kids? It's the same thing because all you're going to do is be, henpecked and bothered.
That gives me gas. All right, what do you got? Moving on.
She says, ready?
Yeah.
My husband and I have been married for 13 years. We married at age 33, and we were both very independent until we got married. We have enjoyed a good marriage in general, have 2 girls. However, in the past few years, he has gotten more and more agitated about the time that I spend outside of our family. For example, I have some amazing Christian women friends, and we get together 2 to 3 Saturday mornings, early in the morning for about 2 hours. 2 or 3 Saturdays a month, I guess. We have been doing this for years. It is extremely important to me. Family trips or plans always take priority over the time with the girls, so if he wants to do something, she begs out on the girls, I guess. Also, I like to take 2 or 3 weekend trips a year, mostly to spend time with my parents, who my husband isn't fond of spending time with. My husband says that he doesn't have any good friends that he would like to go on guy trips with. He chooses to spend all of his free time with me and our girls. I often feel smothered and don't like hearing his complaints about all the selfish me time that I spend away from him. He knew that I needed a certain amount of me time before we got married, so I wanted to know what you thought about this. Am I selfish to want a little me time? How much is too much? I think that some time apart from our spouse is important in a marriage, right?
Oh, I think so. I think your husband's very odd. Does he literally want to sit and talk with her and chat with her and do all this kind of stuff? Do you think that's what he wants to do?
I don't know if he just wants her around, doesn't want her to be gone.
I would give him I'd give him a little dose of it.
Just be around all
No, drag
the
him.
time.
Let's go shopping. I want to go shopping. Let's do a Bible study together. Come on, I want to do a Bible study together. Sometimes it's giving a little piece. See, if I were talking to him, I'd say, dude, you're being an idiot. The girl is happy. She has this. If you take it away from her, she's going to want you to do all those stuff she was doing.
Well, if he was 33, surely he had a life outside of her before they got married. So what happened to that?
I don't know. There's so many different ways of this. Number one, I would be saying to him, look, and I've talked to guys like this. If you realize if you take her away from the stuff she loves, she's going to try and get all of her emotional needs from you. She will suck the life out of you. And most guys at that point, their eyes get big. And then you reconsider. Now, maybe this guy actually wants that. She's saying he wants that. He wants her to suck the life out of him. So maybe, I would
Show him
test
what that looks like.
I would, it's like we were watching Downton Abbey,
Yes.
the show. And the butler, what's his name? Carson and
Mrs. Hughes.
Mrs. Hughes. They're married, but anyway. Oh, shut up over there.
Oh, sorry.
So anyway, he really insists on a proper dinner at night and wants all this kind of stuff. They're newly married and whatever like that. And it's just killing her. So they come up with this plan. Let's show them what it's like. So she fakes an injury. Mm-hmm. And, what does that mean? Well, you got to cook the dinner. It's okay. I'll walk you through it. So she's making him do everything. And by the end, he is exhausted.
He falls asleep sitting at the dinner table.
He had a total revelation of what that is going to look like.
Yeah.
So hopefully he backs off. So, I mean, if he literally wants to be around her constantly and wants to be his girl, like a girlfriend, my guess is he probably doesn't. He probably just wants her around. I would try and make him do everything your girlfriends are doing. Just do it for a week, 2 weeks, for 2 weeks. Just say, listen, I'd like to see what it's going to be like if I get rid of my girlfriends. And just, okay, good. And then suck the life out of him. I mean, just stick a straw in his brain. Seriously.
I know.
And just and say, let's go do this. Let's have a Bible study together. Here, open this book. Let's get a, what's one of these chick Bible study books?
Beth Moore.
Beth Moore. Get her Beth Moore. Oh, forget Beth Moore. Buy one of my books. No, he might enjoy that. Get a Beth Moore if it's a chick thing. And let's read a Beth Moore book put together. And you read this chapter, and then I'll read this chapter, and let's talk about it. I'm serious. And just make it unrelenting.
Quite hilarious.
And just pour out on him.
Well, this is what my girlfriends do for me.
My girlfriends do. I don't want. Well, let's come on, and let's go shopping because I want to go. Now, come on, let's go to the mall. I'm excited. Tomorrow we're gonna. And just walk his butt around.
The most frou-frou
walk him around
to eat.
until he's ready to pass. And then when you go to a restaurant, don't go to some nice place where they have great cheeseburgers and stuff. Go to some foo-foo place where it's quiche and tofu and there's flowers everywhere and just suck the ever-living life out of him. My guess is after 2 weeks, he'll say, you know what? I think it's okay for you to spend some time with your girlfriend. I'm serious.
Oh.
This is exactly my advice for you, my
It would be
dear.
quite funny.
But what does he want? He's got to want something. Can't you just barter with him?
Well, he says that he doesn't have any friends. He doesn't want to do anything with anybody.
I know a guy like this. But their version of her being around is literally just being around.
Yeah.
He
Let
does
me do
whatever
what I
he
want
does.
and put her around the house, but
put her
don't
around
be
the
gone.
house and I just want you here around me, and you don't need to be with
Make
somebody
lunch
else.
for me and.
Oh yeah.
I know.
No, I know. Yeah, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I would give him a good dose of what it's like if I don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Please do that, and for the love of heaven, please email us.
We want to know.
Because I want to know what happened. If you're successful, I may write a book on this. Because I think that would be hilarious.
It would be very funny.
Here's the other option. Mm-hmm. If you don't do it. The other option is, so what if he complains? So what? Mm-hmm. Ignore him. Why don't you be around me? Well, I don't want to be around you all the time. You drive me crazy.
Oh, well.
So what? I don't understand these people that are so... Does that make sense?
Yes.
I mean, part of it is actually this being content thing. Oh, I wish you could do... There's things my wife wishes I would do. I ain't doing it. So we kid around about it, or we gig each other about it, but, stuff I wish she would do that she didn't want to do. And I pointed out, so what?
Well, it depends on how much somebody whines and moans and complains, and at some point it's like, oh, forget it, I'll just do it just to shut him up.
I would never think that in those terms.
Well, it depends on how much they're whining and moaning and complaining. Clearly, you've never experienced.
I don't know. I think you got to live with it and just say, look, that's what happens when I come home. He's just going to whine and complain that I want to do such. I don't know. I don't know. I think version 1 is the funny one. I would love to see that.
I still think there could be some kind of. You could come to some kind of compromise. Maybe you can't and you got to screw it. But, like, let's say he loves it when you give him it's all about him. So if you're gone 4 weekends out of the year, why don't you give him 4 weekends out of the year where it's like, I'm yours, we'll hang out, I'll cook meal, I'll do whatever, it's all about you day. And maybe if he hears that, if maybe that's kind of what he wants, and you at least put it down where it's on paper and he knows when he's getting it.
That might make him happy.
It might make him happy.
Maybe, but not nearly as
funny.
Entertaining.
She's never going to do that.
She might.
Funny.
Some of these people really love me, and she might do exactly what I said. I would do it just for the pure sport of it. Even if it resolves nothing, I would, please, by all means,
it would be
please
fun.
do it. Then let us know what happens. All right, we'll take a break. Be back with more right after this.
Want more of Mark? Visit markgungor.com. There you will find everything that Mark has to offer.
Well, now, please don't give me all that lip.
Diane.
Acting like you
are so hip. Don't give me lip. You think you're so hip.
Yes, you
I
can.
know. Between thinking and knowing.
A bologna sandwich man. So come on. Feed me some bologna. I like that meat that rhymes with Tony. I ain't too high class to eat that mess. I want a bologna sandwich man.
That's all the people listening to the Mark Gungor Show. Every day, say, feed me some more bologna.
Well, I get enough bologna.
I'm green today.
Or
I don't know if I like green. Anyway.
blue is better.
It's not easy being green. I just can't wear blue every day.
If it works, why not?
All right, Miss Smurf.
I am not the Smurf today. I'm not the fat Smurf.
What was it? He said, you look like a super Smurf.
Super Smurf.
And you went, oh, you call me super fat.
Smurfette.
No, he called super Smurf.
No, he said Smurfette, and I thought he said super fat.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
And whatever. She's hallucinating.
No.
All right.
Okay.
Chubby, what do you got?
She says, I was at the beach with my husband and his family. We have 3 kids, and I'm not confident in wearing a bikini anymore, so I wore one piece and shorts. There was a girl there.
I don't know. That's why I said wear a thong.
In a bikini, and he kept looking all the time.
Whoa. What?
So they're at the beach.
Okay.
She did not have the bikini body after 3 kids.
What a shock.
So there was a woman who was there in a bikini.
And she looked good.
She looked good, apparently. And the husband kept looking all the time.
Just smack him.
He told me.
Just smack him. That's all you got to do. Why you girls need to write me about this? My wife, in a million years, would never write anybody about something like this. You know what she does? If I'm doing something like that, which I don't do that, but I got my own versions of things I do, she'll grab me, look at me, and say, stop that. Okay. I don't want you to do that.
So,
and I look at her and go, okay. And I stop. That's all you got to do. I don't understand. I don't know. People are crazy. So anyway, keep telling the story.
So he kept looking at her the time, and he told her to go in for a swim, which she said no, that she wasn't going to. She'd stay with the kids. And then he went in for a swim instead. He's in the water by the girl. When the girl went in for the swim, then he went in.
I think I'll go swimming.
For the swim, too. She was very upset because he was swimming close to her. To make it worse, she felt uncomfortable and insecure because of him, and he was nonstop looking. He came out and sat by her and then started looking at this other woman again. She said, I was getting fed up with it and just wanted to go. He got angry because I was accusing him of something that he said he'd not done, that he hadn't been looking at her. Okay. She said, I know it's just looking, but sometimes guys just don't know when to stop. Should I get over this stuff, or is it just me? Should he stop doing it, or is it just me?
I think it's just you. I think you need to tell him. Just talk about it. I don't know why people, it's like
She did try to talk about it, and he said he wasn't looking.
At the end. She brought up at the end after being upset and he's swimming too close to her. And, I'm mad. Really? It's like the
I got off that beach and dragged the 3 kids and went in the water and started swimming right along with them, right next to the girl.
You know what we do? And I know everybody's different. Amazingly, everyone in the world is not like me. I just can't. But I've talked about this before, we always point out the really good-looking people in the room. Male or female.
Mm-hmm.
If there's some hot mama that comes in, I'll go, holy cow, look at that. Or my wife will go, holy cow, look at that. Or if there's some stud muffin guy that comes in, oh my gosh, will you look at that, And so we just talk. It's the obvious thing. If we're on the beach and some hoochie mama girl comes by in a bikini, I promise you one of us are going to go, holy cow, look at that. And then if she's, playfully enough, we say, don't look at her. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But people can't just be playful. I mean, it's obvious. Men are, and it could be the other way around. We talked about this the other day.
Yes.
There are some men, you don't see the thing with a man, you don't see, because he's covered and stuff like that. Women, you can immediately see their figures no matter what, all right? But if a guy pulls, because I do work like with Navy SEALs, you should see these boys without their shirts.
I want to see these boys. I want you to take me to a Navy SEAL event, and you won't take me.
You should. Both of you and my wife would like to go along on that.
God dang.
But we're just laughing about it because, and it's not lust. It's more like,
just look at...
wow, look at that.
I said it's like looking at a really great building that the architecture is just, wow, that's a gorgeous building.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
That's what it's like for me because I'm not you.
No, but even me, and I've even told my wife, look, oh my God, there is a version of I'm probably getting all static about this from people. There's a version of looking, a male or female, that are, we're talking the 1%ers in there. What do you think? 1% of people? Maybe it's a small percentage of people in the world who are just stinking, holy cow, physically stunning.
It's more admiration of something than it is lusting.
I don't know if it's admiration or just wow. Somebody just go,
I can admire.
Holy cow!
I don't think I've ever felt the same way about a really nice piece of architecture.
Well, okay, how about like if you're in an art museum and a beautiful painting or like a beautiful flower garden?
Nope.
Well, that's because...
My advice to the girl, but rather than all you girls who freak out about
Phil.
this, of course, they're so insecure, they're not going to listen to me. Anyway.
Well, it's hard when your husband is looking at something that you will never look like anymore.
Here's my advice to women like this. Point it out. You point it out and lighten up about it and say, holy God, you see that girl? And he's like, what girl? And of course he noticed her.
And see, that's what's very annoying. At least fess up. When I say, don't look at, I didn't see that. Look, yes, you did, you liar.
You can either go in battle ready to fight or lighten up about it. You want my advice? It shows about my advice. You girls learn to lighten up about it. You be the one to point it out. Holy cow, Bob, look at that.
Yeah.
Yep, I don't look like that anymore. And then, make him come up with, some kind of response that you want to hear. Bob, you can still love me if I don't look like that anymore? Well, yeah. Or, hey, don't look at it.
Well, you have to find a way with humor to diffuse it so it doesn't become a problem. I agree.
I agree. People, laugh your way to a better marriage. I think you should buy this book. Go on right now, buy 17 copies, every one of you, and give them out to your friends. Because there's hungry children that need this book. Part of every portion of every book that I saw goes to helping hungry children, like 6 of them.
Your grandkids.
Yes. They need things.
It's feeding the children.
Feed the children, please. Who's that girl who used to do these?
Sally
Struthers.
I need Sally Struthers to do a pitch for my book. And please help the children.
Is she also the one that did the schools on like TV repair?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't
VCR
know.
and TV repair.
I don't know.
Anyway, Feed the Children, buy one of my books, and learn the title. Laugh. I can't do this. Look at the screen.
Because
Laugh your way to a better marriage. Lighten up a little bit. When you see someone really drop dead gorgeous, like girls, all you girls, you be the first one to point out, hey, Bob, look over there. Well, it's because you're quit being so insecure. Just laugh about it. Say, oh my God. And say, hey, Bob, see that over there? Yeah, don't look anymore. That was your only look. Lighten up. People, their lives would be so much better.
It would be.
And if a guy said she goes to the pool, say, I think I'll go swimming. Hey! What? Come here. You ain't going there. She just went in there. I mean, lighten up. That's what we would do.
Yes.
I don't. Maybe that's why I've been married for 42 years, and you people can't stand each other after 2. All right, take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Attend Mark's Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage event. Visit laughyourway.com for upcoming dates and locations.
I see days that left us bronzed and breathless, then melted into night. I'll never forget as long as I'm alive.
I love this guy, Michael O'Brien. Check out his music, michaelo.org. We don't really have time for anything
No,
else,
we
do
don't.
we?
I don't have anyone. I was looking for a short one, but there's not one that's short.
Anything
enough.
else we want to ramble about? So what was today's show about? Summary. If you were to summarize.
We started with permissions.
Yeah.
And then you went into your consequences. No condemnation.
Shame that you want people to feel
Which I thought there's something good in there because you could really go in about marriage outside of sex. And people talk about, the world talks about, you don't want to have any condemnation because they're just turning us into a condemnation.
Who is this kid?
He's yours.
I don't know what you're talking about. I want a DNA study to see whether or not.
Yours.
That doesn't help anyone out, but that's just what I hear of when I think of condemnation.
Yes. Condemnation. It's a
They're trying to turn us into a condemnation. Which is so stupid. Condoms, for the love of God.
Had to get him started on that.
People are so out of control. The only way to stop diseases that are ravaging and destroying people is to wrap yourself in cellophane, which numbs the sensation. What's the point? What's the win here? I don't get it. How about you just get married to someone? Because you never get STDs with that. Anyway. All right. I think we've paused long enough to close out this show. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.